What's going on, everybody? I'm Jay Cotto, the Boxing Jedi, and welcome to the Boxing and Jedi's Tavern. And I'm here with my good peoples. We got Stephanie from the Cantina and the Star Wars Dad, John. What's up, guys?
What's up?
Rawr.
Yep. And tonight we're gonna give you guys a little treat. We're gonna bring you back. We're gonna give you some nostalgia. And those that were born in the '80s, don't worry. This is exactly why we're doing this to give you a little trip down our memory lane. Now, real briefly, man, I just want to open up with something, and this is a great song. Can you guys hear this?
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
perfect.
Oh yeah, little Toto. Oh yeah. So, what do you guys remember about 1980? Let's start there.
1980. Let's see. Ronald Reagan got elected president.
Right.
Um, the world was a little bit different. Uh, let's put it this way: Americans took our position in the world a lot more seriously then than we do now,
Right.
Yep.
and we didn't like it. All right, which is why Reagan got elected.
Mm.
Uh, things had to change. There were a lot more creative filmmakers, and the music was amazing.
The music was amazing. Movies were amazing. Commercials were amazing. Oh my
Yep,
God, marketing during the 80s was insane.
yep.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh yeah,
mean,
definitely. And in 1980, I mean, I mean the we had a lot of shit going on. I think it was in January of 1980. The Rubik's Cube debuted at the International Toy Fair, and I'm more than sure you guys had a Rubik's fucking cube, right?
Oh yeah,
yes, I had three of them.
Mm.
I had
And,
one.
yep, I had one. And also on April 24th of that year, the U.S. rescued the rescue attempt to save the hostages in Tehran, and it failed. Remember that?
Yep,
Yep.
Yep. Then
yep,
May 18th, we had the Mount St. Helens eruption, and that was
yep.
crazy. Yep. And then, of
Uh,
course, the most innovative thing ever in video gaming history, May 22nd, 1980, the Pac-Man video game was released.
oh yeah, yep.
Yep.
It was what movies showed up then? Oh, uh,
Oh, you want to talk
The
about
Empire
movies in the
Strikes Back.
80s? We're talking movies in the 80s? Let me see.
Yeah,
Well,
The Empire Strikes
well,
Back.
let's start
1980.
with this. Okay, let's start with this. What was everybody's favorite year in the 80s and why?
Mine was 1984. That was when I understood boxing. I started watching boxing. Also, at the same time was when I started getting into video games. As to Atari, Coleco, remember that?
Yes, yes.
What was it? Activision 2600. Atari 2600, ColecoVision, and that was my favorite year. 84 was like a very like that was when I became conscious, actually. Conscious, like I started recognizing things and taking in information. Really, really, I was born 74, so in 84, you know what I mean. I was telling you, so I started soaking in a lot of stuff, and in the 80s, man. I mean, this is exactly, we are who we are. We had a rich culture back then.
Right,
Yeah, we did.
right.
We did. All right, I'll tell you what. 1980. Let's see. We won the gold medal in hockey. We beat the goddamn Russians.
Yes.
The Empire Strikes Back was released.
Oh yeah.
I bawled my eyes out. There was that literally is my favorite movie. Um, it is that's the way you make a movie. It's the
Oh yeah.
tightest script for a movie of that genre that you could ever write. It's perfect. And every time I watch certain scenes, I still cry. Um, Ronald Reagan was elected president, you know, and I grew up in a world where we sucked. America sucked. Our president, Jimmy Carter, said we sucked.
Oh yeah.
He did too. Well, we're gonna have to do this and blah blah blah. Fuck you, asshole. Yeah, sorry, Jay.
No,
I
it's
didn't
okay.
say that. I don't. Jimmy Carter is still alive because he's a bad man. Only the good die young. Okay, just
Yep.
let that go. Um, 1980, the year MTV came out.
Yep.
Oh, gee, 82, I think. I think it was 81, 82. Oh
Mm.
my God. And, 83. I mean, 1980 was the start of, um, I guess for me, a time to look at what I could be, what we all could be, and then run with it.
Well, see, for me, my year in the 80s was 1986.
Right.
Um, it was the most memorable year in the 80s for me, period. The Challenger blew up 1986.
Wow. That was when I discovered Mike Tyson in '86.
Yes.
Yep.
I was in a class watching it.
Oh yeah.
Also,
Oh, yeah.
19 this is no bullshit. 1986 is when the Mets won the World Series,
Yep. Oh
and I
yeah.
was it gets better. I was their bat boy for all four games
Oh shit.
at home. And Jay, when you come up here, this is something I'll show you. I have two baseballs signed by every individual Met player and Red Sox player from those
Oh,
World Series
That
games.
is
you
awesome.
have the signature of my favorite baseball player of all time, Darryl Strawberry. Are you kidding me?
Dude, I've got pictures of me sitting in Daryl Strawberry's lap.
Oh my
Oh my
God,
God, that's
bro.
awesome.
I've got pictures
Dude,
of me sitting in Keith Hernandez's lap.
oh my
Oh
Um,
God.
man, bro.
Oh my
I
God.
the person that taught me how to pitch. I don't know if you remember this guy, but Ron Darling.
Oh, come on.
I
How can
remember
I
him.
how can I forget Ron
I
Darling,
remember
bro? He
him.
wa- he took Ray Knight's position. Hell yeah, bro.
No, no, Ray Knight was the third baseman.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
yeah. Ray Knight actually was. Here's a name that you might find familiar. Ray Knight was actually married to a golfer named Nancy Lopez.
Oh my God.
Wow, look at that.
Oh my God.
Look at that.
And I thought I
So,
was cool. Jeez, John.
but I've also got pictures of me in Atlanta when they were in Atlanta. We were at the Peachtree Plaza Motel with me and Mookie Wilson playing in the pool together. And
Mookie Wilson, jeez.
Fucking Mookie.
Oh God.
Yeah, I tell you, man. I tell who
I
here,
remember him.
who here, who here had the most innovative thing ever created, which was the Sony Walkman.
oh, I think we
I
all
had
did.
Sony. I had
Like,
that.
you guys remember the Sony Walkman, right?
Hey,
Hmm.
hey, here's
Now,
here's
what's
something
funny
about
is that
that.
the shit was invented in '79, but it didn't get hot until the '80s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, what's funny is I had Def Leppard's Pyromania, and I played it over and over again on that. I was going to visit my sister and my brother-in-law in Kansas City, and I was on the bus trip there because they wouldn't pay for a flight and they wouldn't come to get me.
Wow.
So I was listening to it. We get there, and the tape, it was a cassette tape, got screwed up. And there's
Oh,
my brother-in-law trying to fix it up because he's an engineer. He fixed it. He put this is so funny. He put the earphones on
One more.
and started listening to the music. He was horrified.
he didn't understand the middle.
Yeah, and he's but he's a rock fan. I'm like
Yeah.
going, but you like rock and roll. What the hell is this? I don't. This is bad. I'm like, Bill, shut up.
Wow.
And my sister Mary's going, with this look on her face, like, what was wrong with that? So I played it for her, and she's like, that's awful.
Eh,
I'm
Oh
like,
my
I, I,
lord.
t- I I tell you right now, man. I used to have a little scam going on in public school, right at that time when the Walkman was out. I must have been like in
Mm,
sixth grade, right? A lot of guys and a lot of girls, they used to come with their cassette tapes all tangled up inside. Remember when that shit used to eat your cassette tapes?
yep,
yeah.
So I had the trick, and I knew it because I learned it from my Chinese friend. God bless you, Stanley Lee. God bless you, brother. Right? He said he taught me you put a pencil inside of the cassette player and you just twirl it right back into, like if you were rewinding it. And I did that
yeah,
shit. And I would charge him a quarter at the end of every day. I would make about $5, guys.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah,
Hmm.
at the end of the
Hmm.
week, bro, I had like 30, 50, 35 to $50, bro, in public school, dude.
yeah,
Now, do you know what I miss the most from the 80s? And my son looks at me like I'm crazy when I tell him this. I miss going to the video store and picking out a few movies to watch for the night because
Yes,
when
yes,
when we were kids and you actually went to the video store, they would have all the movie posters up on the wall.
yes, yes. It was
And
so much fun, man. And we're not talking Blockbuster. We're talking your local video rental place.
right.
yep.
And it was like magic,
Yes.
seeing all
Oh,
the videos and the movie posters. I mean, and it would be you and a whole group of friends, and if your movie wasn't there, you would go run to the return bin and shuffle through the return bin. Please tell me it's here. Please tell me it's here. And you get three of them,
Yep.
and then usually after that you'd run straight over to the pizza place and get two pizzas to take home, you know and everybody would sit around and watch those movies for the night. Oh my god. And that's when people actually used to talk to each other.
yeah,
Yep.
and that's
Yep.
exactly what we used to do.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, when I graduated high school that summer, 1986, and even before that, like when my sister Chris realized I drank alcohol,
Yeah.
she was like this. Here's the deal. Steph, here's what we're going to do. You want to come over on the weekends? I'll let you have the room of the house. Don't leave. You can drink anything you want. You can invite your friends. I don't care. We're going to be out. Watch any movies you want. Rent what you want. Go out and get them. Um, but you're not leaving. And I'll tell you something. Uh, I don't talk to her anymore. It's a long story.
Yeah.
Um, but that was the right thing to do, and I think I would do that now.
Yeah.
Right? For a teenager, if they still did that, but they're still like, oh my god, my underwear. You know, um, you know, we didn't do anything. I had a few friends come over. We'd watch movies and get into their alcohol collection,
Hmm.
and we'd be drunk. I mean, I remember one night.
I remember
I
I remember renting videotapes, man, and having your sleepovers over the weekend with your friends and shit.
Yes.
Those were
yeah,
cool, man. Those were the
yeah,
days, man. How
and we would do that. We would get. I mean, if I didn't do that on the weekends, we would do like I would get when Star Wars first came out on VHS. Lori and I, we would get a bunch of our friends, and my friend Lynette would have her brother come over because he had the AT-AT, the big one,
Yeah.
and he'd bring it just so we could have it there when we were watching
Oh,
Empire.
let me tell you, Steph, it was like my 10th birthday. And my dad, for my birthday party, he had told me to give him a list of movies that I wanted, um, for him to rent. And one of them was Star Wars, right? And he went to the video store and he came home and he didn't have Star Wars. He had that stupid movie Starman. And I threw a fit and he looked at me and he's like, the same thing. I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's not the same damn thing. Oh my, it
It's
ruined my
not.
birthday. Yeah.
It's
I'm
not.
like, it ruined my 10th birthday.
Oh God.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, my dad, my dad knew enough not to even go in there. I mean, he was a World War II veteran, so there that his time he was like, "You want a Millennium Falcon? What the hell is that?" You know. And then he had to have my sisters who were like the gift buyers go, "This is what it is. This is what you have to do," because he's like going, what?" Now there was a toy store in my hometown called Toy Fair, and it was the greatest place that God ever made. It had everything, including Breyer horses, which I collected. I had, like, I think everything they ever made. Um, and every day of my whole life before I turned like 12, I'd be in front of it, pressing my nose up against glass, going, you know, I don't want that. And then I had the Millennium Falcon. And he was like, "Well, if Toy Fair doesn't have it," and my sister Jones going, "They won't have it. Dad, you have to order it." You know, I mean, I didn't get it until Christmas of 1980.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
had it, but I was the only one in the whole neighborhood who had it. I had the Falcon, another one of the kids that he had it, and everybody came over to somebody's house with other figures, and we had big battles, and it was awesome. You
Yeah, it was
know,
it was fucking it was. I mean, listen, the toys back then, everything, they don't make them like they used to anymore. I mean, the toy commercials right after we came home from school. I mean, after and right after we came home from school, if you wasn't in the after school program or you got out, I mean, Channel 11. If you lived in New York, it was WPIX or anywhere else. They had the after school. First they would give you cartoons, then they would give you stuff like Good Times, the Facts of Life, different strokes. I mean, the programming was fucking awesome. Archie Bunker, what was that? All in the Family, where the Jeffersons got a spinoff from. Hill Street Blues, Saint Elm. What was that? Shit, man. What was the name? Saint. No, 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 no.
St. Elsewhere,
Uh,
or
Saint Elsewhere. There we go. Yeah, I was gonna say Saint almost
Yeah.
like Saint Elsewhere. I mean, Hill Street Blues. I said that already. I mean, there was so Taxi. I hated MASH. I always changed fucking MASH.
I hate MASH
God,
too.
I love MASH.
I
I
can't. I
love
couldn't.
MASH.
I couldn't stand the.
John, I
Oh
can't. I
God.
mean, I could, you know, I think I'm a little older than you, and I'm like, I can't do this. Even when I was a kid, I would get up and go into my room, or
I used
just like go
I
into the
used
other.
I used to change the goddamn channels. And you know what was awesome too on Saturdays, man, on Channel 5? The Saturday afternoon Kung Fu Theater. Right after fucking Tarzan.
Dude, the thing I loved the most, it was when you and I would have been hitting about fourth grade, fifth grade. As soon as you got home in the afternoon, right?
Uh-oh.
Um, the first thing that would come on, it was season one of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, right?
I was about fucking what? I had to be that was in the 90s, early 90s. I
But then you had um, GI Joe cartoon. You
Yes.
had
Yes, GI
you
Joe.
had Transformers
He'll
cartoon.
fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. G.I. Joe is
GI Joe is
there.
there. GI
G.I.
Joe.
Joe.
1980, what, three to whatever. I mean, when I was a kid, we come home, uh, turn on the cartoons. We had actually Warner Brothers, old school, goddamn real cartoons. Bugs Bunny,
Mhm.
Elmer Fudd, and all the rest of that. It was awesome.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes. Those
and
those the,
then there'd
always.
be, oh my God, Fred Flintstone.
Yes. Hanna
Yes,
Barbera. Hanna Barbera,
yeah,
man. They were
yeah,
bad motherfuckers.
yeah.
Space Ghost.
No, Fred Flintstone, the Flintstones,
Yeah.
that was good stuff. It was so politically incorrect.
It was.
But I'll
It was
tell you
great.
something about it. Watching those cartoons, and you watch the way uh, Wilma and Betty did their thing, they were no pushovers.
No, they weren't. They had their
They,
man in check.
yeah, they did. I mean, Barney and Fred are like, shit, shit, you know,
Yes,
and you know, you
yes,
watch them, they were good stuff.
Yeah,
yes.
But
and the Jetsons was pretty good too. You know
yeah,
what? You know what got me with that in the beginning? Where she takes his wallet and leaves him with a 20 and leaves. That's real life shit there, guys.
Yeah, it
yeah, it
is.
is. My husband would go, you have no idea.
Oh man. And then we had some great action stars of the 80s, man. We had fucking Chuck Norris. We had Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone,
Yep.
Charles Bronson
Oh
lasted
God,
to like
Charles Bronson.
83, and that was it. Like that was like the last Death Wish, which was like Death Wish 4, and that was
Yeah,
it. That was the
I
last
know.
hurrah. And then of course Clint Eastwood stood the test of time. I
Oh,
mean,
Clint is.
yeah,
Yeah.
we had the greatest action. Yeah, shit. Even Jim Carter, if you guys remember Jim Carter, like fucking Remo Williams, The Adventures of Remo Williams. Remember that shit?
No, 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 no.
I
The
don't.
one there are so many movies now from the early '80s that will stand the test of time. Okay, let's start with them. You have the, Gremlins.
Yes, one and two.
Yes, one and two. Goonies.
Yes,
You have Red Dawn.
Yep.
yes.
Oh God, Red Dawn.
Wolverines.
You have some of my favorites like Weird Science,
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters 1 and 2.
Yes.
Yep.
I mean,
The Raid.
let's yes. I mean, you've got all these movies from the
Christine.
80s that are going to
Christine.
yes, Christine. You plus the great
The
books.
first three Raiders, the Indiana Jones movies.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Yes.
Yes.
mean,
How
you
about how
can't.
about
Yes.
how about 18 again with George Burns?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
song makes me cry. By the way,
It
when
does.
he sings that, oh, when he sings, "I wish I was 18 again." That's a song that he sings.
Yeah, yeah. That was the theme song to that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hell, the to me one of the greatest theme songs ever for a show was the Greatest American Hero. I'm walking on air.
Oh
Dun
man,
dun
La,
dun.
la, la,
I
la,
can't
la,
believe it
la,
happened to
to me.
me.
La,
Some
la,
shit
la, la.
myself. That was a shit. Believe it or not, I'm
I'm
walking on
walking
in.
on air.
That was the
I
shit.
feel so free.
Yes, that was a.
Yeah.
How about yes, yes, Brian, the Incredible Hulk, the Sandman song. Boom, bam, boom, bing,
Oh my God! You
bing,
know
boom,
what? I've got a
ding.
plan for that for
Oh
Brian
man.
Young and Pablo Hidalgo because Pablo. I'm gonna say this. This is gonna be off topic, but he freaked out this weekend, and Chewbacca did a long, long blog post about it,
Right.
and I may talk about it on Monday. I'm laughing my ass off still. Literally, I don't know what's going on at Lucasfilm, but he shat his pants. He shat the bed.
Mm,
Yeah. You go read Disney Star Wars is dumb blog.
mm.
Because I'm still like going, really, Pablo? Somebody pull
Crazy.
that your non-existent hair off your head because you're a bald asshole. You know, your fat ass. You know. Um. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, you
Uh.
know what? You know what's funny? Like the honeymooners, everybody grew up on that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know that the highest ratings it has ever gotten was during the 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
I believe it.
okay. You cannot deny though the popularity of shows like Gilligan's Island
Oh
during the
man.
'80s.
Oh yeah.
Magnum PI.
Oh,
Oh, Magnum. Oh my God, I love Magnum.
Mm.
that was my
Oh,
shit, boy.
oh, Ivan. Did you see this?
Then
Did you see? Did you what? Did you see the sunrise? Boom.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that scene?
No,
That
no.
was no. It's that's a long story. Uh, uh, Jay, if you haven't seen that, it's it's a very long, convoluted story. But at the very end of it, the bad guy is being a cocky motherfucker, and he thinks he's walking away.
Right.
And Magnum is standing there, and he just got his back to him, and he goes, "Ivan, did you see the sunrise this morning?" And the Russian turns around and goes, "Well, yes, I did."
Hmm.
You see Tom Selleck turn around. It's got that 1911. Boom!
Oh,
It's. I mean, that is. I think I've seen it a million times since I got married because my husband loves it.
I gotta
Mhm.
tube that. I gotta tube that scene. I definitely gotta see that.
It's like no shit. I'm
I,
done with
I
your crap.
definitely, yeah, I definitely gotta tube that shit.
You have to
Hell
watch a whole. You have to watch a whole uh, episode.
yeah.
Okay. Then you also had early 80s Three's Company.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh man, Three's Company. How about Charlie's Angels and
I
Fantasy
Charlie's
Island?
Charlie's Angels
um
is 70s.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, but it came all the way until the early '80s, though. And the $6 Million Man did as well. Buck Rogers.
Buck
Uh,
Rogers was something else.
yeah,
It changed everything.
well, actually, for me, Battlestar Galactica did.
Yeah.
When I first saw the Hawkman in Battlestar Galactica, I was like, oh my! I mean, in Buck Rogers, and then in Battlestar, when I saw the Cylons, I was like, oh no, this is some new age shit here. Like,
Dude, I've got Battlestar Galactica on DVD. You
nice,
know,
the
the
original.
the 2 seasons that it ran along with the 2 on-air movies that they did. I've got them on DVD, and also from the 80s, the original V, I have that
V.
on DVD.
Oh God,
Wow,
V.
with
I had
Yeah.
a
Robert
friend who was
Englund. I
obsessed
remember
with
that
that.
shit.
Yes.
My friend Lynette was obsessed with that.
V
I
was
love
I
awesome.
it.
I love that show.
V
And then
was
they try to
great.
remake it and it was just horrible.
This shit was trash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
That
can't
shit
make
was
shit
Z.
like that.
That was Z. It wasn't V. It was Z.
Yeah.
It was every letter except V. You
V
know?
Yeah.
was V was. I don't know why I didn't get into it back then. Maybe I would now.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, whatever. And my friend Lynette was like, oh my God, la la la. I'm like, dude, you need to calm down.
Yeah. I remember T.J. Hooker and and
Yes.
and the
Yes.
guy and the guy that the guy and Chips. I remember Chips, right? But and SWAT. A lot of people don't remember SWAT.
SWAT.
Now,
I
Oh my
remember
God.
SWAT.
yeah, SWAT was the shit.
What
Now,
about Quincy?
Quincy, did you
Uh,
say Quincy?
Yes.
Oh my God! Wow, she brought that shit back, just like
Yes,
Barney
I
Miller,
did because I
just
love
like
that
Barney
show.
Miller. Remember Barney Miller?
Yes,
yeah.
I do because
Wow.
I love that too.
Oh
Quincy
man.
was amazing.
Okay. I'll bring Blast from the Past in. Let's go with Bewitched
Uh huh.
and
Yes.
I Dream a
Hey,
Genie.
Mm-hmm.
hey, that's all from the 70s.
Yes,
But
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 Quincy
but they
it
Quincy
worked
didn't.
was
into the
80s.
'80s. They worked into the '80s.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quincy
Now,
was
yeah,
Jack Klugman. I love that show.
I remember Quincy. Holy shit, Steph, you brought that shit back. Wow.
That show was so great.
Wow.
That show was, I mean, that's the way you do TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is. I
Yeah,
mean,
that it's the '80s TV, the Hill Street Blues. I mean, all those cop dramas started from our time. Like I was gonna say, the Magnum PI, the Tom Selleck killer was David Hasselhoff with his fucking Knight Rider. Remember that
Oh
shit?
yeah.
oh, no one could kill Tom Selleck. I mean, that was, I don't know. What I find funny is I love Tom Selleck, but and actually, you guys want to hear a story?
Yeah,
You probably know this. He actually was picked to play Indiana Jones,
I couldn't see that.
but because he was stuck playing Magnum, they had to find somebody else. They got Harrison Ford,
Right.
I
and
could see that.
actually,
I could definitely see that.
yeah, and it actually worked out quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah, um, which is, and I love both guys, so I'm like, okay, we're fine, you
Mm.
know. Um, but what was the show? They had a guy that looked like Tom Selleck, and he was a PI. It was a Vegas shit.
We're not talking Philip Marlowe Private Eye, are we?
No, we're not. We're talking
Oh,
about something else.
okay, okay, okay.
Jesus, what was it? Because I didn't like him because
Moonstruck.
he was too pretty. It was shit. I can't remember what it was, but he was in North and South Book Two. All right, in the 80s, John Jake's novels, which are very good to read. Read them if you want to know history in a fictional way. They're about the Civil War. North
Mm.
and South was made. Patrick Swayze played Ori Main. George Reed played George, the guy from the North. And then we had North and South Book Two. And Ori's uh, quote unquote wife has to run away to Charleston because she's outed as an eighth black woman,
Right.
which is bullshit. I mean, the way they did it is like, okay, I needed just really. And the guy they have playing her like half lover or whatever, the guy that liked her, ends up getting killed. And it's him, Matt Houston. Matt Houston,
Matt
the
Houston.
guy that played Matt Houston. Do you
Shit.
guys remember that?
No. Fuck. I would have to look that up. Shit.
No.
Oh,
You do you want to know the one TV line that I remember the most from the 80s though? Well,
Which one?
it's what everybody was yelling.
Where's the beef?
Nope, TV line from a show. Who shot JR?
Oh my God,
yes,
Dallas.
yes, yes.
Yes,
Do you know who's
Holy
a good friend
shit.
of mine?
Holy shit, Dallas. I forgot
hmm
about that.
because
That, yeah, yeah.
I will never forget the night that aired because everybody after the show was walking out into their yards and screaming, about what the hell just happened. I will never in my life forget that. That was like a cultural phenomenon that happened that night.
That's crazy,
Do you
man.
know who's a good friend of mine?
Who's that?
Brittany Morgan.
Really?
Yep,
Mm.
yep.
Wow.
And yeah, she laughs about that show all the time. I mean, that was, and she said Larry Hagman was such a gentleman.
Mm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. It's yeah, that show. I remember. I think we had everybody at our house. Mom, my sister in law Mary, uh, everybody. Are all watching Who Shot JR. And what's funny is I knew it was the Mary Crosby,
Yeah.
Bing's daughter, who by the way, the bullshit about Bing Crosby being abusive.
Yeah.
Everybody in her family says it didn't happen. He was never like that. The people who are raised or in that family who were born of his wife who killed herself, she was mentally ill.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They all killed those boys. All killed themselves.
Wow, that's sad. That's
They're
Yeah.
that's mental illness.
damn.
That's what it does. It's like it's a demonic curse, and he's tired of the bullshit they said about him. And you've got you know his kids raised by his second wife going, no, he was never like that.
Mm.
In fact, Mary Crosby's like he was the most loving father you could ever have.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
that's the thing. That's why I look at people and go, nah, didn't happen.
Yeah. 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 Definitely,
You know,
man. I remember. I remember. Uh, I think it was somewhere between what was it? I think it was 80. I think it was 85 or 87. No, bullshit. Bullshit. Nope, not even. It was 84 when Michael Jordan first showed his fucking face on TV on in the Chicago Bulls. And by
Yeah.
87, yeah, by 87, he was something as to a household name already. Um, the reason why I'm getting into that is because we had a lot of innovation in sports. We had Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, Arthur Ashe, Billie Jean King. I mean, the list goes on and on. It goes on and on. You know what I mean? We also had inner city programs for families that lived in inner cities at the time, and the ghetto, like Good Times and Different Strokes. And the reason why I love the Good Times is because Good Times was actually written by a white man. Look at that. And it showed the struggles of a family, a black family living in the projects in Chicago, and it was very, very real. That was a great, great, great show, as well as uh Different Strokes, where you had a rich white man who adopted two poor black kids and took them in with his own, white daughter, and they took, they accepted her as their sister. They grew up. Of course, in real life, they all, most of them are dead and shit. But it was just the writing, the innovation, and the care that was put into programming at the time. Now, I'm not saying the programming and saying it with emphasis and like I would today, because today is actual programming, like they're trying to fucking change. But back then, you always had in a show a moral value at the end to learn. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. But you want to talk about amazing black comedy in the 80s, dude?
Yes.
Sanford and Son,
Yes.
dude.
Yes. Lamont, you big dummy.
And
Elizabeth.
love
Yeah.
love him or hate him, the Cosby kids.
Oh yeah, they were great. The Cosbys. Listen, everybody wanted their family to be like the Cosbys. I don't care if you were white, black, Chinese. That was America's family. That was like the ideal family to be. You know,
Yes.
the man would sit down with his children. The mother as well was as or even more powerful than the dad within the household. They showed you the roles of how the older sister's supposed to be, how the younger, the middle, how they always supposed to respect, how the family got together, how to respect grandma and grandpa when they came over, shit like that, man. And it's like these days you don't even get that. These days you get young teens like licking each other and shit, and I remember when the first fucking lesbian kiss was made headlines all over the fucking nation. Remember that?
Yep. Yep.
It's funny. It wasn't the only. It wasn't the first. Go
Right.
watch the movie in Morocco with Marlena Dietrich.
Mm, there
Go
you go.
watch that.
There you go.
She plants a big wet one on a girl watching her sing. Yeah, the first. What the fuck? Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. You're the first. You're the first to make a big goddamn deal of it. All
Right.
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 That's my opinion. No, it was 1932 before the Hayes Act.
Mm,
Yeah, go get Morocco.
mm,
I mean,
definitely.
I'm serious. It's like, okay, and we're all supposed to be shocked at anything else after that.
Yeah. You know what it is? Like, look how long ago it was till it hit into the early 80s, right? I mean, to the late 80s. 1932, you said. So it's a cultural change. So they figure half or even more than half of the people that are growing up into the next generations after that, from 32 to 80, there's a couple of fucking generations there, right? So you figure they probably thought we forgot by that time. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they were supposed
Well,
to shock and awe us with that bullshit.
back in the 30s, well, when movies first started, and it's still a very young industry, they just did whatever they wanted. I mean, you could talk to some of my friends who actually study this,
Right.
and there's a lot of stuff that'll make you go, "How in the name of God did that ever get passed?" any of the censors, and it was out there.
Right,
People could
right,
see it.
right,
People weren't policing it. People, it's what is suddenly popular to be offensive. All right, I don't particularly like saying it. Okay, it's a good movie. Morocco is a very good movie. She ends up chasing Gary Cooper's character out into the desert because he's going out to battle because he's part of the French Foreign Legion. All right, um, but I don't like saying it, but it's there. Am I gonna throw a fit? Make sure no one else sees it?
yeah,
No. But I got goddamn tell you this: if she kissed a man like that and they had children and lived a decent life, they probably want to stop it.
right.
All right. But the fact that they say this is the first time, no, it's not.
Well,
Oh yeah.
hell, let's go back to 1986, and we've got the one movie that made me want to be able to fly F-14s.
Oh shit. Here we go, baby.
Ah, Top Gun.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Top
With
Gun
Kenny
had,
Loggins with the badass theme music. So
yep.
the
That
teenagers
that
tell.
movie had everything that you could possibly want. It was masculine for men, it had a love story for women, and it had badass F-14s blowing the shit out of each other,
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
That was the shit. That movie, man. Let me tell you something. When I used to go to junior high school 56, we had something called the GO Club, right? And once a month you were able to miss periods 7 through 9, which was like
Mhm.
after lunch all the way to the end, and you went to the auditorium because you were down with the Geo Club, and we had other things, but they would always show us fucking Top Gun, bro, all the fucking
Mhm.
time. Like there was this teacher, her name was Miss Kruder. I don't know if she's alive or not. If she's dead, may she rest. If she's alive, God bless you. And she was our computer teacher, Miss Kruder, and she always showed Top because she had the biggest crush on Tom Cruise, of course. And that was her favorite movie. And we would ask her, Miss Kruder, when are you gonna change this shit up? Never. Top Gun stays. Ah, you fat bitch. You know?
yeah, I love it. Um, I took my sister's British nanny to see that when she came to visit,
Oh yeah.
and we had so much fun. And it's not that I had a crush on anyone because Tom Cruise is too short. He's always struck me as a little bit, eh. And Val Kilmer, when he is real skinny and real pretty, she's too pretty. But I mean, Rick Rossovich, when he's doing that, thing, I'm like, I can get behind that.
Well,
I can get behind that.
I'll tell you this much. When Val Kilmer did that movie, The Saint,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, he was beautiful in that fucking movie. I'm not gay, but I can recognize a good looking man when I see a good looking man.
He
He
was,
was,
but
he
he,
was
yeah, I would not. You know, what's funny is I have friends who actually worked with him. He's the biggest dick on the planet.
really,
Yeah,
Oh
he's a very tough guy.
yeah.
Um, and other people said Tom Cruise is great, and I just go, but Tom Cruise is so short, and he's just too. He's always been too pretty to me. I mean, there's a. It's hard for me to describe the guy that I think is awesome,
Right.
but Tom Cruise, Val Kilmer are not. I love that movie. I thought they were great. I mean, and if I was in a bar hanging out, those two guys walk in, I looked hard at the time because I was young or in my early 20s and looking for love in all the wrong places.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? And
well, I will tell you, I never thought Tom Cruise could ever act until one movie came out, and we're talking another 80s movie where he played the part, and it was so cringy, it was so good. But Interview with the Vampire,
That was a great fucking movie, man. That
yes.
movie with Kristen Dunst and Brad Pitt, and that was a great movie. Yes, I agree. I totally agree. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. Everybody, if you remember your Christmas in the 80's, Your favorite toy store was fucking Toys R Us. I don't care who you were.
Guess what? They're opening up new branches again.
I hope
Yep.
so. I hope so. Let me tell you something. I folded and cried in the fetal position at the age of 44. Okay, when they closed the shit, man.
Oh,
Okay.
that
See,
yeah, they're
we didn't have Toys R Us. We had KB Toys.
yep.
No, we had
KB
Toys R Us.
Toys,
We just had to go to New
KB,
Jersey for it.
KB Toys. Oh my God,
I remember KB, but there
I
was
got
nothing like it. But there was nothing like a Toys R Us, though, man. I'm
I
sorry.
got my niece a Benetton Barbie at KB Toy Store, and it was the coolest thing she ever seen in her life. She's like, "Oh my God, Steph!" And I'm like, "Okay, here you go.
Oh,
As long as you got my Briar horse that I wanted,
yeah.
right?
That's,
This is what you get for Christmas. I want my Christmas present."
oh yeah.
You know, the whole thing. It's like you don't. This ain't for free, baby. You know.
Yeah, I
She
remember.
looked at me.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sorry. She looked at you and what?
she's 50
Yeah.
now. My niece is 50.
Right.
She looked at me and like, "You're such a spoiled brat." Like, hey, you know what? I wasn't. I'm not an only child. You were, so don't go spoiled brat on me, okay? And she is. I mean, she gets whatever she wants still.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know. But yeah, I remember going to KB's toy store a lot and going, "I want this and this." And what's really funny, you get to a certain point as a teenager, it's like, I shouldn't really be here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shit, I remember when cable first came out, and the first channels way before HBO was only WHT. That was the first cable
WGN.
service, yeah, that you had. WHT. Then after WHT came HBO, and every hour on the fucking hour, the movie they would show after every other movie was fucking Alien with
Yep.
Sigourney
That
Weaver.
it was Alien and Rocky.
And yes, oh, and that movie with Mark Hamill, King of the Hill.
Yes.
All the fucking time. Jesus. And then oh god. And then when Eddie and the Cruisers came, oh god. Oh god.
God, that's mid 80's though.
Oh
I mean,
god.
that was, we didn't, I mean, mom and dad never wanted HBO. My sister had it, and I got treated to uh, Prince. What was that? Purple
Purple
Rain
Rain. Yeah, that was an awesome movie.
for like 5 days straight. I'm like, Joan, guess what? I like this music, but not as much as I used to because we've been watching it for days. You
She said
know,
you're
can we?
killing Prince for me, man.
Yeah, dude. No, we gotta. I mean, it's 1986. I'm laying on 1985. I think that when, whatever. I'm laying on the sofa waiting for a guy to call me and at her house in Rock Springs going, "Can I watch something else? I'll
Oh
watch a
god.
game show. I don't give a shit anymore. I don't want to see this."
I
And my
remember.
mom, your mom's going, "Joan, really? Come on."
Now, the one thing I remembered the very most that blew me away during the 80s was when they debuted Max Headroom at the Super Bowl.
Oh
Yes.
my God, I remember that.
Max Headroom. Hi. How are you? I'm Max Headroom. Now, man, that was fucking awesome, bro. I remember Max Headroom, and remember you know, the sitcoms and shit like Mr. Belvedere,
Yep.
uh fucking Soap. Remember Soap with
Yep.
Robert Guillaume
Yeah.
and Benson.
Oh, dude. Let's go early 80s. Let's go um, with the beginning of Tom Hanks' Bosom Buddies.
Oh
Oh my
yeah.
god, that was the Mork and Mindy era.
Yes.
Oh
And
shit.
and probably the greatest show that early 80s, man, Alf.
Yes, I remember Alf. Alf and
Elf. Yep.
yep. And what was
Yep.
that girl? Uh
Punky Brewster.
yes, Punky Brewster.
What about Cheers?
Cheers, yes, always
And
cheers.
that sprang, in my opinion, the greatest sitcom of all time, Frasier.
Yeah, yeah, Frasier was yes, yes. I think Frasier was better than Seinfeld. I'm sorry.
Oh, I think it was too.
I'm sorry.
I think it
Fra-
was too. You're right.
yeah,
You
Frasier
know
had more
what?
substance. It had more substance. You
Well,
know?
you know what? It's really funny. When we moved to Korea, I ordered every season of it, and every time because instead of having like a post office box or a thing that I could pick it up, it would end up at my husband's office. So every time they'd show up from Amazon, he'd come in with a package or two. Here's your Frasier DVDs. I would cry. I was so homesick.
Wow.
I was that homesick.
Yeah.
That show meant so much to me because it was like a little bit of normalcy.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
come home and you hear dun da 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 da, and she'd be like,
Yeah. You hear
um,
that piano? Hell yeah.
yeah, he'd be like, he'd be like, if you're not cooking, I hear that, and I know we're eating
Yeah.
fast food or something tonight, right?
Yeah.
Well, you had the best marketing ever in the 80s. Who remembers Avoid the Noid?
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
yeah, I
Yes.
remember that.
For the pizza. Yes.
Yeah, for Domino's Pizza.
Yeah. How about where's the beef?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Wendy's, where's the
Oh,
beef? Or Spuds McKenzie.
oh
Yes.
God.
Budweiser. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And the funny about "Where's the beef?" It became one of Reagan's campaign slogans.
Yeah.
Where's
How
the
about
beef?
this? Say goodbye a little longer. Make it last a little longer.
Na
Make
na
your
na na
breath
na na with Big Red.
with big
Yeah.
red. Oh my god, they played that shit like every 5 minutes. They were trying to tell
Yep.
America your breath stinks.
Well, that and it's time to make the donuts.
Oh
Oh
man.
God, the Dunkin' Donuts guy.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Duncan and his fucking donuts.
Yep.
How
No,
about how
it's
about
really
how about the
interesting.
Coca-Cola commercials, man, with Santa Claus at Christmas time?
Yes. And the polar bears.
Yes.
You know, what's really interesting is go look at the local ads because they're on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah.
Go look at your local ads. I found a bunch that showed up on the local ads when I was a kid. I'll tell you something. I got a little teary because I'm watching and I'm going, I remember what I was doing, where I was,
Yep.
where, a little kid, a teenager, and you're a little kid when you're a teenager.
Yeah.
You might have all your pieces apart, but you're still a little kid.
Yeah.
And it's nostalgic and it makes you kind of get all, you know, kind of teary eyed. But you got to see it. You got to do it. Everybody out there who's listening, if whatever, whoever's listening, go and do YouTube 1980s Christmas ads because I guarantee you will see your local ads in those somewhere.
Oh yeah. And your
Your
favorite
local,
toy too. Your favorite toy,
yeah,
everything, man.
yeah. You got to do it. I post it on my Facebook page during the Christmas season, and people go, "God, you're making me want to cry right now."
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
now, Jay,
Yeah.
you're like me. You come from a New York family, so you probably remembered this when we were kids. Came from Chicago. Remembered the Bozo Show?
Yes, I
Oh
remember
my
that.
god.
We had WGN. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. My
Oh
mom wouldn't stop
shit.
watching it. She was a Cubs fan because she
And
actually grew up in Chicago.
they probably made the very best children's movie ever in the early 80s. This is going to bring back so many memories. God, what was that called? A Never Ending Story.
Oh, with
Yeah,
Atreyu. Hell yeah.
they did.
Yes.
They did.
That was my shit. That flying dog, man. Remember Time Bandits
Yes.
with Sean Connery, and they were midgets, and they were running away from this big holographic face because they had something that made them time travel shit, so they had to escape. It was a movie that for that that was from with England actors, but it was in the 80s. It was very big. It was called Time Bandits with midgets. It
Well,
was a
no, the best thing Sean Connery came out of in the 80s, dude, and I still watch it today, Highlander.
Highlander was pretty good. I mean, I can't really.
Highlander was a good movie.
Yeah.
Um, Despite the fact that Sean Connery played Egyptian Spaniard with a Scottish accent.
Yeah.
You know, but hey, if you go back in the 70s, he played a Barbary Moroccan pirate
Oh yeah.
with a Scottish accent in The Wind and the Lion. And by the way, this is a segue. If you want to see a really good movie, The Wind and the Lion, directed and written by John Milius,
Mm,
who is one of us, by the way.
mm,
He is a member of the NRA. He's a good man. And he made Kathleen Kennedy catalog his gun collection. So
nice.
he's just all fascinated on that for a section. Or, I'd be like, this is so cool. She'd be like, why am I doing this? You know, and I'd be like, yes, is this a 1911? Um, no, that movie, The Wind and the Lion, is a great movie. And yeah, you know, uh, whatever. I mean,
She's she. I tell you right now. Remember all the James Bond movies with Roger Moore in the 80s?
Yes. See, that's
yes,
when the James Bond movies were actually good. I can't stand the new James Bond movies.
Me either. I could only stomach Sean Connery's James Bond and Roger Moore's James Bond.
yep.
Everything
Yeah.
else is uncivilized. Fuck Timothy Dalton. Fuck everybody else after that. You make no sense. It was always Roger Moore and Sean Connery. That's
Yeah,
it.
because they were fun. They weren't serious. I mean, they were, a great popcorn flick. You weren't
Charismatic. Those two held the helms of James Bond like no other. They were charismatic. It's like if you was a dude, you looked at James Bond when he would finesse a bitch, and you'd be like, I hate you, you smooth motherfucker, you. You know,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
Now, the one movie that I know that made every last one of us cry while we were in elementary school,
man,
and
Ghost.
and I don't know if they still play it in schools anymore, but Old Yeller.
Oh man, that
Okay.
and
Okay.
Mice and Men
That's
of
a good
Mice and
point.
Men as well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes, he said, "Oh Yella." Oh man, yeah, that was
Oh yeah.
heartbreaking. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when you found like first I read "Oh Yella" and I didn't really understand it at the time because I was like in elementary school. But and then when when we got to the end of the story and I knew what it was, I was like, "Oh man, I would hate to ever take my fucking dog out and put it out myself, man."
I
Yeah,
Like,
get it.
I'm.
I could. I mean, if someone said you need to put Beaver to sleep,
oh,
I can't do it.
mm,
I look at those big weepy brown eyes and be like, you know, um, no, get the doctor with the shot. I'll hold his head. I look at God and say, please don't make me do this.
yeah.
I don't want that decision.
Yeah, I did
And
that with my Chewbacca, man. My pit bull. I had him for 11 years, and I tell you, man, that shit tore me to pieces. Yeah,
losing a
Yeah,
dog is hard.
yeah. Oh yeah, that shit tore me to pieces, man. He had stomach cancer and shit, and I had to put him down. And it took two shots, man. That's how big and strong he was, man. It took two shots to put him down.
yeah,
Yep, he was big.
I just look at, I would rather, it's one of those things where you almost want to wake up in the morning and he doesn't wake up.
Yeah, like yeah, yeah. I mean, I'd rather that wake up to him not motionless than me having to actually see him and then he's not motion a couple of seconds later right in front of me he
Yeah.
just dropped dead because
Yeah.
I fucking
Right.
had him like I tell you right now it's the same thing with my grandma. May she rest, she was my everything. She raised me, and like going on 2 years now I had to make the decision to basically uh pull the plug. You know what I'm saying? That right there was the hardest decision. It still eats me up inside, but it's just I understand what you're saying. Shit like that, bro. When it comes to stuff like that, the old Yeller stories of Mice and Men, where he had to take his friend out George as well because of what I mean. Like nobody understood his retardation and shit. Like it's that's what I'm saying about the 80s, man. The 80s, they basically uh
It was the last
groomed us.
time.
They groomed us.
It
yeah,
They
was the
groomed us
last
with
time we
the
actually had
programming.
an
They groomed us
education.
very well.
It really was the last time we actually had an education in school.
Yeah.
yeah,
I guarantee you there are college students who don't know what my cement is. Never
Nope.
heard of it.
Nope.
They know what Old Yeller is. I guarantee you that. Now, here's the deal. If you homeschool your children or send them to a private school that you've studied and looked at and can afford, that is a good school, they might have. But I got to tell you, when you have a kid who's in their 20s ask you what the invasion of Normandy was, or
They would.
what's D-Day, or what's D-Day,
Yeah.
I get mad. I get mad at them. I get mad at them because why didn't you go look this up?
Yeah.
Why? I get mad at them. Why are you depending on your parents, your teachers, whoever, to tell you what that means? Go
Right.
look it up yourself.
Exactly.
Your grandfather might have been part of it, your great grandfather. I
Yep.
guarantee you somebody you know in your family tree was there.
Yep. But
It's
that's what the
sick.
problem is too. You know, there are no more encyclopedias, no more dictionaries, no more physical. Look, that was a Rolodex was our internet, and
Exactly.
you know, yeah, and our Google were fucking dictionaries and fucking encyclopedias.
Yep, and
Yep.
we had all
Yep.
that. I
You
would
know what
look
I'm
at
saying?
my mom and dad's encyclopedias for hours when I was a kid.
Exactly. And a lot of these motherfuckers today don't even know what the fuck a rotary phone is. Put one in front of
Yeah.
somebody. I dare you.
I'd love to. What's that? It's a
Just
phone. What phone number do you want to call?
right?
Okay,
Yeah.
well, you do this.
And it sucks so bad because if you just miss the number by just a little bit, you
Hang
would
up and
dial
do
the
it
wrong
again.
number. Yeah, you would dial the wrong number, you know, and have to hang up and do it all over again. And it would take you one
You have to
minute
hang
to
up and do
dial
that
one
shit
phone
over.
number. Yeah.
Yep, it would, but
You
you
know what I
did.
hated? You know what I hated when the WWF, right, when they first came out with the you know the touch tone and shit, right? And you know, at the time, you know, a little boy and shit, and I always wanted to call the fucking Hulk Hogan hotline, right? So I'm like, God damn it, I got a rotary phone. I don't have a touch tone. I can't press one for Hulk Hogan. Press two for the Macho Man. I'm like, hold on, let me see. Nope, the shit don't work. Fuck. Yo, man, I remember that shit so bad, bro. When Touchstone and I was confused because I didn't know how that shit went, right? So my friend was like, dude, all you gotta do is go and tell your mom to buy a touch phone, a touch tone phone. I was like, what the fuck is a touch tone? He goes, the one with the buttons. I said, okay.
Well, hell, do you remember when caller ID first came out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
You
Hell
would
yeah.
get a box. It'd be a box that you would attach to your phone, and it
Yep.
was big and bulky,
Yep.
and you were lucky, you know.
Dude, how about the
Um,
answering machines? When the answering machines first came out, that was a pain
yeah,
in the ass. That was a you had some shit that was the size of a table just for your phone with two little tape slots, one to run it back and one playing the message. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you know, hi, you've reached the Cotto residence. We can't be we're not home at the moment, but if you just leave your name and number, we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Leave it at the beep, beep, right? And sometimes the beep was like a minute long and be like beep. And then you're like, "Hi, it's me. Are you home? No? All right. Call me back. Bye." And then you
Yeah.
hang up. You come home. You gotta rewind the shit. You play it. That shit didn't even tell you next message. It was just a recording on a tape. The shit was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that the variety of phones. The press button. I remember when we first got the first press button, and it was like, okay, fine. You know what's funny is you went from the rotary phone to the press button, and there was no problem.
Yep.
Right.
I go to, you know, the next thing, which is I guess my iPhone, because really, you know, I mean, we've had press button phones until we actually got those, and I don't have a problem.
Right.
Now you've got morons who were born in the last 20 years going, "That's a rotary phone." I don't understand. And you're like,
Well, see,
you gotta be kidding me.
this new generation cracks me up because in the 80s, how we grew up, right? If you called your friend's house and they weren't there was no getting in touch with them. There was no social media. There
Nope.
was no cell phone. There was, no internet to reach out to them. And if you went somewhere, the only way you'd be able to get hold of someone is the local payphone.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Remember when the fucking beepers came out?
Yep.
I carried like fucking $20 in quarters, bro.
Yep.
And then when the cell phone first came out, it was the big ass fucking Zach Morris phone. That shit was huge with a fucking
Yeah.
that shit was the size of a shoebox, like a size 9. And and and
Yep.
I remember that. I remember all that shit, man. And I tell you right now, man, drugs were big in the 80's as well, bro. You
Oh
know,
yeah. They
like
big drug in the 80s was cocaine.
yep, and heroin.
Yep.
Because remember, heroin was coming from the 70's, right? The mid 70's, and then it started going off into the early 80's because cocaine, then crack came out.
Mhm.
I remember that
Yep.
shit.
Crack was
Crack.
big in the 80s, Coke, regular Coke.
Yep,
I mean, you guys remember John Belushi died of a speedball,
yep.
which was
Yeah, sure
Coke
did.
and heroin. Um, hey, if you ever want to read a good book, and I gotta go now because I'm getting tired. If you ever wanted to read a good book, read Wired. Um, just go look it up on Amazon and get it. About John Belushi, it's like his biography, and it was written by one of the Watergate reporters. Bob Woodward wrote it. Despite the fact that he wrote it, it's a good book. It's sickening. He interviewed everybody. He interviewed uh, uh, Jim Belushi. He interviewed Carrie Fisher,
Yeah,
who was very honest about, what she was doing then. Dan Aykroyd, all of them. And it's sad and it's sickening. And the loss that the world had to take because John Belushi couldn't help himself.
yeah, yep.
You know, it's like, and the woman who did it, why were you with, what in God's name would ever put those two people in the same situation? Judith Rexner, I think her name was.
Hmm.
I'll never forget it because I read the book in like 2 days going, I'm never touching this shit as long as I live.
I never touched it in my life. All I did is smoke weed, and that's for medicinal purposes. When I was younger, it was for, of course, recreational. But as you get older, it becomes more of a, medicinal purpose. And but anything else after that, no, nah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That shit's not for me. You know what I mean? I don't knock anybody who's on it, but at the same time, have self control when you're around me. You know what I mean? I had a lot of friends who used to do coke to the point where they used to numb their jaws, and every time they tried to talk to me, they would be like, and I used to be like, dude, just let me take you home, and I take them home and shit, and of course the next day give them a fucking lecture as to, yo, when you're hanging with me, you can't be on this shit because I don't do that, and I don't want nobody fucking trying to misconstrue the shit where, oh, Jay does coke too. Nah, man, no,
Yeah.
and of course you had to cut them off and shit because of their habits. It happens, so sometimes they'll learn from it, sometimes they won't. But the whole point is, if it ain't for you, it ain't for you, man. You know. Well, I know Steph has got to go. I know John, you've got to hit the hay too, huh?
I'm good.
Oh, you're good. All right. So I guess
I'm good.
stay
All
on a
right. You
little
guys
bit.
have a good night tonight.
All
All
right.
right, you
Steph.
too, Steph.
You too, Steph. Thanks for coming on. Everybody, say goodbye to
Welcome.
Steph. And me and John gonna stay on for a little bit.
All right,
Now,
guys.
All
Good
right,
night.
Steph.
Steph,
Thank you.
have a good night, and we will
Good
talk
night,
to you
buddy.
later.
Yes,
All
get
right.
some
Good
rest,
night.
buddy.
Good night,
Definitely.
boys.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead, John.
Now, talking about the 80s, let's do a comparison because I'm going to talk what I call golden years and
Yeah.
then what we have right now.
Okay.
Let's go to Saturday Night live, man.
Oh man. Oh
When
man.
I talk golden years, Steve Martin, Chevy Chase,
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd, um, you had John Candy, you had, I mean,
And fucking
you
Eddie Murphy. Eddie
yes,
Murphy when he
and
first
Eddie
met him.
Murphy.
Yep.
I mean, and look at it now. Saturday Night Live is not funny now. It's an embarrassment. All they want to do now is bash Trump. It's not comedy anymore. You
It's
know?
not Saturday night. It stopped being Saturday Night Live like 30 years ago, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that shit ain't Saturday Night Live. That shit's just Saturday night. Like a lot of old shows. Even the Tonight Show ain't the same. Even when Jay Leno was on it, the shit wasn't the same. After Carson left, like this is what I'm saying. Like the 80's were very innovative. The 80's is where everything was created. Everything was innovated. The 80's was where everything took off. Because then the late 80's going into the early 90's was when the fucking internet came on,
Yeah.
but back to the Saturday night like how about Saturday Night Fever, how
Yeah.
about those movies where remember Dance Fever with Danny Terrio used to come on,
Hmm.
which used to be something like a Soul Train, but it was for disco. And then they had Solid Gold. Remember Solid Gold?
Oh yeah. Well, hell, you had movies like Flashdance.
Yes,
Remember that?
yes.
And oh my God, um, who will ever forget breakdancing, dude?
Dude, Breaking One, Two, fucking Beach Street. Oh man, those were the 80's, bro. Breakdancing. Created in the, in
Yes.
the late in the late 70's, transcended all the way into not even now because it's a lost art, but back then dancing was innovative, man.
Yes.
You know, it was innovative. You had disco, you had house music as well in the early 90's. You had hip hop, And,
Yes.
I mean, you had a lot of so many things, man, that came from the 80's. And if you guys aren't from that era, which is our era, then I tell you right now, if you feel lost and you want some structure, just do some 80's research, man, and you would understand exactly why motherfuckers in their 40's are still here and they know more than you.
Yeah.
You know, the
Exactly.
the school systems were different, the cartoons were different. For Christ's sake, the girls were different. Remember
Well,
when remember
people
when
have respect for themselves in the 80's. You know?
exactly. Remember when you had a girlfriend and you had to wait for like maybe 6 months in order to fuck?
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
like that was a relationship.
Yes. Now you just get on a phone, pull up an app, and someone comes over to your house 20 minutes later, you know?
Yeah, yeah. May's Flashdance, man. She was a bad bitch. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Jennifer Beals, hell yeah. That was a great movie too. Flashdance, Footloose. Remember that? Footloose.
Yep.
Yo, we had great fucking movies in the 80's too, man. Innovation of the cinemas. Look, remember that movie House? It had the guy from The Greatest American Hero in it.
Yeah.
It had to do that. He moved into a house that was fucking haunted, and the house was haunting him and shit. And his boy from Vietnam, which was the guy from Night Court and shit, was haunting him as well in the house. That shit was a
Hmm.
movie. I mean, we had so many great movies. Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. From
Yes.
when the shit came out with George Romero, Return of the Living Dead. Uh, you know, shit, wrestling, rock and wrestling was born in the 80's.
Dude, Friday the 13th.
Yes. How many Friday
And
the 13th within the 80's were created, bro?
I
Right,
think the first four were in the 80's.
right, 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 right. And then
And
if you look at the ending of 80, 89, you had
mhm.
you had Michael Myers. No bullshit. You had Michael Myers before 89. We had Halloween before 89. I'm talking about Freddy
Yeah,
Krueger. Yeah, Freddy Krueger. The beginning
that's right.
of a new fucking, after that, shit just died.
Yeah.
You know? And it's not like if we didn't, you know, give the benefit of the doubt to the rest of the eras that came after ours. It's just as we got older, there was nothing there anymore. There was nothing there to learn from. There was nothing there to be curious about. There was nothing there that was breathtaking. Let me tell you something. The look on my father's face when he first saw the 3.75 scale action figures of GI Joe when they
Mhm.
shrunk down, the look on his face, may he rest. The look on his face was priceless because here's a man who came from an era. Okay, these are our pops here. Came from an era where the GI Joes were like 12-inch figures.
Right.
And they didn't come with so much articulation. They didn't come with all these accessories. All of a sudden, here comes the little collection of GI Joes reinvented. My father started collecting those shits too. So it's like the 80s had men that were older into the shit that was being invented in the 80s as well. My father went and bought himself fucking betas, VHSs, fucking camcorders when they were first made. Remember those shits? Camcorders, fucking Walkmans, CD players, like portable CD players at that. Like there was so much shit, man, that was invented in the 80s, and people just need to take a look at shit now and understand that what you have now is so secondary compared to the 80s, man.
Well, let me tell you something I loved about the 80s too. Was if you ever heard the president of the United States mentioned in everything, it didn't matter if you agreed with his politics or not, it was Mr. President. There
Yep.
was no running your mouth about the president.
Right.
Um, it was you at least respected the office.
That's right.
And today's generation, I don't know what's happened to this generation today. I really truly don't know. I don't know how things have gotten this bad, but I wish this generation could have grown up like we did. you know
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. Red Glove Militant, welcome to the 80s nostalgia show, baby. That's right. We bringing you a little bit of our era. Now, remember when let's talk about the punks of today who need like 7 to 8 motherfuckers to be a man compared to us where we were terrorized by bullies and we beat their ass because if we didn't fuck them up, our father was gonna beat our ass. Remember those times?
Yes. Well, I'll tell you this much, man. There was, okay, when we were growing up, if you had beef with another kid, you went outside, you handled your business. You either whipped his ass or you got your ass whipped,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
But then things were cool. And this generation now, it's either one extreme or the other. Um, these kids now, they can't take a punch,
Nope.
or they'll go and run and grab a damn gun.
You said that shit right. And I tell you right now, even when you was hanging out as a teenager, like I was, and you had a problem with somebody from another neighborhood, you and 3 other friends would go to that neighborhood and fight a fair one. That's it. You would go to that neighborhood and fight that dude a fair one. You had 3 of your friends, they had 3 of theirs, and if you got jumped, then you know what? It became a fucking a turf war, a block war. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That's where I came from. I came from where motherfuckers came to your block and you shoot a fair one with the motherfucker. He either beat your ass or you beat his ass, and that was it. After that, you shake hands, you chill out. Now
Exactly.
you can't even do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Back
Yeah.
then, motherfuckers get smacked in the face for disrespecting. Like, let's just say a dude, you tell him to stay away from your sister, and he didn't want to stay away from your sister. He's your boy, and your sister come and tell you he trying to talk to me. You go and you smack him in his fucking face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A friend steals something from you in your house. You know what I mean? And you find out it's him, and you caught him red-handed. You smack the shit out of him, right? And then as you get older, you start smoking weed like I did, and you got these fucking half-a-day drug dealers who smoke weed, who sell weed, should I say? And then, oh yeah, I'll be there in 2 hours. And when he show up, now I'll be there in 5 minutes, and he show up in 2 hours, you smack him in his face. The whole point is you smack motherfuckers if they disrespected you. This was where I grew up at. This is where John grew up. These were the 80s. This is where you settle things. If you couldn't talk, then you duke it out. And then a handshake came afterwards, and then the understanding came. These motherfuckers ain't built like that no more, John.
No shit. No shit. Because I'm telling you now, these kids now, um, if you raise a hand to them, they cringe in fear now. And I'm like, what happened to the days of, bruising knees and, being a boy? These kids aren't boys anymore. They're wussies.
Let me tell you what timeout was for us, guys. Timeout for us was getting fucked up with a pot, a pan, an electrical extension cord, a slipper. You know what I'm saying? And Mom Dukes and Grandma Dukes was nice with the slipper. The person I feared the most, the two people, my grandfather and my father. Why? My father was Vietnam, 6'5", 250 pounds. My grandfather was very nice with his hands, was a supervisor over at housing. You know what I mean? And the man was no joke with his hands either. So, I have a lineage of fighters in my family. So, I had no choice but to grow the fuck up and do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it comes home. It's from where the home is. You learn everything from your home. And these days, these mothers are so busy just trying to look fucking good that they don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't tend to their kids. So now they got their kids out there running crazy. And then when an adult like us, they run into an old schooler like us, where these kids with their fucking little minds and big bodies trying to fucking, size us up. And then when we go and knock them the fuck out, that's when the parents want to act like, oh, that's my kid. Bitch, where the fuck were you? Where the fuck were
Exactly.
you? Where were you when this motherfucker was supposed to know? Respect your elders, man.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh shit. And you want to talk about an 80s movie that taught us everything we needed to know, man? The Karate Kid.
Yeah. How about the Outsiders?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that movie right there taught me everything about what a friend should be, on how a friend's supposed to be by your side, what a friend's supposed to. The Outsiders, and that shit had an all-star cast. It had Patrick Swayze, Tom Cruise, Charlie Sheen, fucking Ralph Macchio, man, uh, Christian Slater. I mean, all those Teen Bopper motherfuckers were in there, and it was
Yep.
good. It was a good movie, bro. Go check it out if you ain't seen it. The Outsiders, Pony Boy, stay golden, Pony Boy.
And shit, man. We had the whole Howard Hughes. What is that? What his name is? The Pretty in Pink movies.
Yeah.
We had the Breakfast Club, dude.
Yup.
I mean,
Yup.
I mean, oh
St.
my God.
Elmo's Fire.
Mm-hmm. And
You know,
I'll
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yes. And
You
I'll
know,
tell you, growing up, I had the hugest crush in the world on Molly Ringwald. You know.
wow, wow. Then we had Fast Times at Ridgemont High, The Last American Virgin, Animal
Mm-hmm.
House. Remember that Animal House? Porgies.
Dude, that was insane. Yes,
Yeah.
Porky's is the funniest thing ever. Now, the one movie I remember that my parents would not let me watch was Porky's and Stripes.
Oh man, Stripes. And that's a fact, Jack.
So, what were y'all doing? We were training, sir. What kind of training? Army training, sir.
And now we got to get into the greatest two werewolf movies ever made in the 80s. One was The Howling,
Mm-hmm.
and the second one was The Greatest American Werewolf in London.
Yes, but then let's go humorous too and go Teen Wolf.
Oh yeah, Teen Wolf, Michael J. Fox. Yeah,
Yes,
Teen Wolf.
yes,
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
yes.
Teen
And
Wolf.
then also 80s Michael J. Fox, the original Back to the Future.
Yes, that was brilliant. That movie was brilliant, man. The second one was great too.
Mm-hmm. The
Yeah,
third one sucked,
yeah,
but
I didn't bother watch. I never watched the third one, man. To tell you the truth,
oh, it sucked. I mean, it
and I never will. Then with that right there, I never will.
But yeah, well, hell, Back to the Future is what has brought us, a lot of the technology that we have today, because a lot of people watched that movie and they were like, let's see if we can build that stuff. Let's see if we can actually invent it. And they have now.
Right, right. Oh yeah, man. So before we go, man, we just want to let you guys know that we're not disrespecting today's era or today, upbringing or whatever. But at the same time, we want to give you a little more. We're gonna come back some more with this. This is only like one of many that me and John are gonna come back and do. But we just try to break up the timelines for you guys for our era, so that way you guys know exactly what was going on. And next time we come back, we're gonna talk about the club scenes back then, right, John? Studio 50.
Oh, wow. Yes.
You know what I mean? Palladium. Yeah, we're gonna get back to you guys, man. But otherwise than that, man, this is Jay Cotto, the Boxing Jedi, who today got a 3-0 on a live stream ever done in a boxing debate, and nobody will ever do that again. And signing off, and of course with my man, my brother, the Star Wars dad, John.
Yes.
We're signing off, baby. So you guys have a great Saturday night and a good Sunday morning. John, I'll hit you up tomorrow, brother.
All right. Sounds good, my brother.
No doubt, man. Otherwise than that, I'm Jay Cotto, your boy, along with my man, the Star Wars dad, John. God bless. Stay vigilant, guys. God bless you. Thank you for joining. Peace.
Peace.